Hello, everybody. We're Team Default from Erlangen, Germany. We are studying at FAU, Erlangen University in Erlangen. That's somewhere in the middle of Germany. And we are competing at the student cluster competition in Atlanta, Virtual this year. My name is Marius. I'm studying computer science in undergraduate degree, and my focus is on mostly cybersecurity.
Hey, I'm Ruben and I'm also studying computer science and my focus is on cryptography.
My name is Gabriel. I'm also studying computer science. I'm especially interested in algorithm and data structures, and I do competitive programming contests besides the student cluster competition.
Hi, I'm Timur. I'm studying computer science as all the other folks in my team as well. My focus is mostly on operating systems and low-level stuff. And now I'm transferring you to Pierre.
Hi, I'm Pierre and I'm studying computer science as well. And my focus is on data visualization. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Ricardo. I'm also studying computer science and my focus is also on IT security, but also artificial intelligence.
So for the cluster competition, we had to prepare our cluster. We had to set up some applications and learn how to execute them. We had a set of 4 applications and some benchmarks, but one of the applications is the mystery application, so we didn't know in advance what it is. So we had a course that prepared us for this competition. Maybe Ruben, can you tell us something about that course?
Yeah, sure. We had weekly meetings and at first we just learned how to execute benchmarks on our local cluster. And we executed Lindenberg and HPCG on both CPUs and GPUs and did some scaling runs. And then we, as it was decided that the competition will not take place like in Atlanta, but on the cloud, we furthermore tried to transition to the cloud and try to execute the applications there.
So we had, of course, the 3 applications. They're called Gromacs, CSM, and the reproducibility challenge Mimicity. And of course, we also prepared them. Maybe Gabriel, can you tell us something about CSM?
Yes, I had a lot of fun with CSM. It's very interesting project at first because it's a simulation of the Earth. That sounds very interesting, but we had much struggle to make that application run, and that's caused because it's a very complex project. You have to read in, you have to understand the manual, and you have to configure CSSM for the given machine you are trying to running on. And there are many XML files you have to edit, and it's much trial and error because you can't know in advance if what application or what configuration is suitable for the device. Furthermore, you have to prepare netcdf. That's a library which you usually compile by source, or if you read in how to compile this library, and after that you have you made it run that you can focus on the tuning. And so the best tuning option is to set up the component set. In the competition we could we saw what test cases are given, so we could execute on a small day, a small amount, and then so we could figure out the best grid configuration. The interesting thing here is that it was easily sequential running the components and not making them to run in parallel, which I found really interesting. And that was mainly my task in combination with Marius, who was also involved in CSSM.
Memexity was this year's reproducibility challenge. I think it was a quite interesting thing to do because you had the application of HPC in real world stuff. It was not something totally distant. So that was quite interesting, and a big kudos to Matt, the head author of the paper, who was always present during the competition and who was there for questions and explained a lot of stuff, and kind of during the competition told us about the vectorization possibilities, and I think that was great.
The last application we had to run and we could prepare in advance was Gromacs. Ricardo was preparing Gromacs. Can you tell us something about that application?
Sure. Gromacs, well, we didn't know what to expect going into the competition. So we prepared by just trying to run some simulations on our cluster and, well, applying some tuning parameters as to which parts of the simulation should be run on GPUs and stuff like that. But in the competition, we had to, well, generate those input sets, and therefore we had to get some deeper understanding as to what will be simulated and how. And that was quite the challenge, but also very interesting to do.
The last application that's missing is the mystery application. Pierre, I think you worked on that one.
Yes, the problem there was that we didn't know in advance what we should prepare. So we were just starting when the competition started and did some parameter studies on our local cluster at first, like experimenting with the threshold, how high we can go there without using the modularity. And then we tried to run it on the Azure cluster. And yeah, that worked pretty good. And I hope our results are as good as we hope.
Okay, thanks. So that was interesting about the applications. Now I want to give a great thank you to Scott Michael, the chair of the student cluster competition. He did a great job for organizing the whole stuff online and setting that up in quite a short time. And also the communication was great. So thank you very much for that.
And I want to give a big shout out to our local cluster, RRZE, who gave us access to the cluster so that we can prepare properly.
I had a very special shout out to the forum of CSSM because I had to struggle with this setup of CSSM. I asked there 2 questions and I got very good answers, and that helped me very much.
Since I was working on the reproducibility challenge, I really wanted to thank Matt, the head author of the paper, who was always there during the competition, who answered my emails in advance, who really helped us get the stuff running and to improve it, to really understand the code and where we can improve it. And that was great. Thank you, Matt.
I would give a shout out to Microsoft, not only for hosting the Azure system, but also for the Teams software, which we used to communicate because we weren't able to meet in person. And as a representative, I would point out Andy to give him the shout out.
I would like to give a huge shout out to Johannes Hoffmann, our team advisor, and yeah, he was always there for us, helped us set up in the cluster, in the cloud, helped us prepare the benchmarks, and was just general always there for us, but also to our families and friends around us, supporting us in those times. Yeah, thanks to all of you.